Hello and welcome to Beering in Mind Beer Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at, or begin to take a look at several beers from one brewery, and that one is called Hitachino Nest. And this brewery is very well known outside of Japan. If you go to a liquor store, a big liquor store in the US, and they have a foreign beer section, Japanese beers will often include Hitachino Nest. Many people call it owl beer because it has the owl on the front. And Hitachino Nest is really an offshoot of Kyuchi Brewery, which is a very long established sake brewery in Nakashi, Ibaraki Ken in Japan, which is up north of Tokyo. They started in 1823 and began making beer in 1996. And they also make wine, spirits, sake, things like that. So half of the brewery's production goes to the United States, and they export to like 30 different countries. And they also have something interesting, which is not common in Japan. They have a brew on premises facility, so you can go in and make beer. They'll help you. They'll help you choose ingredients, and then you make the beer. They brew the beer, and you come back and bottle it. So very, very nice. They established a special brewery in 2008 just for beer in Nukata area, and they also grow their own hops there. There are 15 different beers in their regular beer lineup, which is quite large. And probably their most famous beers are Japanese classic ale. They have different varieties. Some are aged in cedar casks. And they have been a contract brewer for Brooklyn Brewery since 2009, making Brooklyn Lager and that sort of thing for Japan. They also established a brewery in Korea, so they're very active and have been doing many, many things in craft beer in Japan. All right, and now we will look at another beer from Hitachino Nest, and this is actually Kyuchi Brewery. Hitachino Nest is their beer section, and this is called Hitachino Nest Anbai Ale. And on Rate Beer, it's considered a flavored fruit beer. On Untapped, they call it a sour gose, and I'm not sure about the disconnect there. I kind of suspect it's more of a fruit ale rather than specifically a gose. For one thing, the alcohol is 7.5%, which is getting up there. Goses are usually a little bit lower than that. And the reason why they call it a gose, I think, is because of the salt which is added to it here. This beer has green plums added, or green plum extract added into the beer. It's based on a 7% version of their white ale, and it has, again, green sour plums, ume, and pinch of salt, which I think they intend to add as a little bit of umami. And on the label it says, a beer characterized by a refreshing acidity from the use of fresh Japanese green plums, a finely balanced blend of just the right bitterness of hops accented by the taste of salt. And in Japanese, there's a kind of an expression when people say "I anbai," and the idea is that something is just right. Everything has come together just right. So on the label here, it says the two kanji here are salt and plum, which are two of the ingredients. So this has barley malt and wheat malt and the plum and hops and salt, and that is basically it. The alcohol is, again, 7.5. On Rate Beer, this one has 207 ratings, and maybe one of the lighter number of ratings for Hitachino Nest beer. An average score of 3.47 out of 5, and 77 percentile for all beers on Rate Beer, and 95% for its style, which is considered a flavored fruit. On Untapped, it goes all the way up to 17,000. I'm sorry, no, 7,438 ratings, 3.63, so a little bit higher than Rate Beer. And again, they call it a sour gosa, which is a kind of a not such a big style among European beers, but it's maybe increasing. A lot of U.S. brewers have caught on and are making at least one kind of gosa. So again, based on their 7% white ale, salty sour ale brewed with plums. Shall we give this one a go? And let's see how much it is. Anbai. It's pretty clear, just a very light haze, which may be a kind of chill haze, I'm not sure. Pretty clear. And we can see right through it. It's kind of a dark amber sort of color with a solid finger of nice fluffy white foam. Maybe some slight sticky lace. Let's turn her around in the light. Okay, and aroma. Get some yeast. Something like like fruit or fruit skins, like apple peels, perhaps. And then something darker and fruitier, and that certainly must be the plum. Taste the salt right away. Yeah, nice little sour, kind of puckering sour in mid-palate. And the plums are quite evident too. That is the primary fruit note is the plum. Again, salt is a little bit extreme here, I think. They say a pinch of salt, but it's more than a pinch for sure. Yeah, there is some light maltiness. The fruit picks up and kind of defines itself in mid-palate. Some bittering. The bittering tastes kind of like a bitter fruit bitterness, some kind of bitter fruit, like again, maybe something like an unripe plum, which kind of really hits you and leaves that sort of astringent bitterness in the back of your mouth. Yeah. Interesting beer. You may want to give this one a go if you're a fan of gosa or fruit beers. If you're a fan of fruit beer, don't expect a bright, sweet, fruity beer. You know, the salt is clearly a presence there. Alcohol, don't quite feel it, 7.5%, so it's somewhat hidden. Yeah, interesting beer. So you might want to give this a go. Again, it's Anbai Ale by Hitachino Nest, flavored fruit beer at 7.5%. It's not one of their most popular beers by far, but you may find it and you want to give it a go. And if you do, tell me what you think, okay? And please subscribe to the channel. We're going to continue with many Japanese craft beers, and we will, the next beer we're going to do, in fact, will be another one from Hitachino Nest, so I hope you tune in for that. Stay well, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.